I'm really grateful that you had the flu a couple of weeks ago because I cannot attend in other weeks. I'm here only today.
So you're thanking the Lord for the flu, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you mentioned politics, and I wanted to tell you about my country. It's very corrupt. The government is corrupt, and a lot of people are getting involved now in politics and are protesting on the streets against corruption. What should a Christian do? Should a Christian protest against the government? And how and when should a Christian be involved in politics?
Being involved in politics in the sense that you vote?
No.
Yes, but I mean, if you voted, that's how to be in politics in a way that's not disruptive. No Christian should be a part of a protest or a march or any insurrection or any anti-government activity. We are to live quiet and peaceful lives. We are to honor those who are over us. And remember, all that was written when Caesar was on the throne and Christians were being massacred. So we are not of this world, right? This is not our kingdom. Our battle is not this kingdom. It's not for the government of Romania. I've been in your country. Some would say it was worse when Ceausescu was there. But whenever a dictator is overthrown, that doesn't get the corruption out. It just spreads the corruption over more people. Mm-hmm. And I understand that. But as a Christian, we don't protest. We don't take up arms. We don't throw bombs. We don't do graffiti. We submit to the powers that be because they are ordained of God. And by that, it doesn't mean that the leaders of Romania are necessarily doing the work of God, but government as an entity brings a measure of order to an otherwise chaotic environment. So breaking down the authority of the government leading to anarchy is not good for anyone, and Christians are basically forbidden to be a part of the tearing down of any governmental authority, whether it's communist Chinese authority or corrupt Romanian authority, or disturbing American government, which is legalizing immorality as fast as possible. We pray for our leaders. We submit. We lead quiet and peaceable lives as good citizens of this world, knowing that our citizenship is in heaven, and we fight for the eternal kingdom, not for political change on the surface. This is what I was saying in that message on the dangers of moralism. When you're just getting in a battle to change the external morality of a government, you're dealing with things that are temporal and superficial. And one other thing to say about it. I pointed out this week at the Truth Matters conference that we're living in Romans 1. When God judges a nation, it says in Romans 1, he gave them over to immorality. They had a sexual revolution. That was the judgment of God. Then it says in Romans 1:26, he gave them over to homosexuality. We've had a homosexual revolution. And then it says in Romans 1:28, he gave them over to a reprobate mind, a mind that doesn't function. And I used to wonder, what is that, a mind that doesn't function? That's when you're a man, you think you're a woman. That is insanity. But that's where we are. Now, you could say, well, I don't like this, I'm going to fight against it. Remember this. A sexual revolution followed by a homosexual revolution followed by insanity that leads to all kinds of iniquity is the judgment of God. According to Romans 1, it is the judgment of God. This is divine judgment. So while you're fighting against that, on the one hand, because you're trying to uphold righteousness, understand this, that God himself is exercising judgment in that very thing. So we don't want to get caught up in what God is doing in a society other than with the work of the gospel. Okay? So glad you came. Thank you.
I'm so glad I came.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.